Merry Christmas, Tropa, and welcome to our YouTube channel. Here are the latest NBA games result today, schedule of games for tomorrow, and the updated NBA team standings as of today, December 24.
In the first of 14 NBA games played today, the depleted Orlando Magic stuns the Boston Celtics at home with the final score of 108-104. Tristan da Silva led Orlando in scoring with 18 points, followed by Trevelyan Queen's 17 points and Jalen Suggs' 16 points. For Boston, Jaylen Brown led the Celtics in scoring with 35 points, as Jason Tatum was a late scratch just minutes before the game due to non-COVID-like illness. For the second game, the Houston Rockets gets a road victory over the Charlotte Hornets with the final score of 114-101. Jabari Smith led Houston with a double-double performance of 21 points along with 11 rebounds, followed by Fred VanVleet 20 points and Amen Thompson 19 points and 11 rebounds. For Charlotte, Miles Bridges led the Hornets in scoring with 24 points and LaMelo Ball added 23 points. For the third game, the league-leading Cleveland Cavaliers extends their winning streak to 5 games as they defeated the Utah Jazz at home with the final score of 124-113. Darius Garland led Cleveland in scoring with 23 points, followed by Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, who both added 22 points each. For Utah, our Kababayan Jordan Clarkson led the team in scoring with 27 points, and Lauri Markkanen finished the game with 26 points. For the fourth game, the Philadelphia 76ers took care of business at home as they defeated the San Antonio Spurs with the final score of 111-106. Tyrese Maxey led Philadelphia in scoring with 32 points, along with 10 rebounds and 8 assists, followed by Paul George, 19 points, and Gershon Yabusele, 17 points. For San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama led the Spurs with 26 points, and Stephon Castle, 17 points. For game number 5, the New York Knicks successfully defended home court as they beat the visiting Toronto Raptors, with the final score of 139-125. Karl-Anthony Towns led New York with a double-double game, finishing with 31 points along with 11 rebounds, followed by OG Anunoby, who also scored 31 points, and Cameron Payne, 19 points. For Toronto, Scotty Barnes led the team in scoring with 24 points, and RJ Barrett finished with 23 points. For game number 6, the Miami Heat gets a victory at home by defeating the Brooklyn Nets, with the final score of 110-95. Bam Adebayo led Miami with 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, followed by Nikola Jovic, 18 points, and Tyler Hero, 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. For Brooklyn, Cameron Johnson and Noah Clowney led the Nets with 19 points each. For game number 7, the Atlanta Hawks defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, with the final score of 117-104. Trae Young led Atlanta in scoring with 29 points and 7 assists, followed by Garrison Matthews, 25 points, and DeAndre Hunter, 19 points. For Minnesota, Naz Reid led the team in scoring with 23 points, and Julius Randle added 19 points. For game number 8, the Milwaukee Bucks took down the Chicago Bulls on the road, with the final score of 112-91. Chris Middleton led Milwaukee with 21 points in just 23 minutes of playing time, followed by Brook Lopez, who also scored 21 points, while both Bucks superstars Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard did not play in this game due to injuries. For Chicago, Nikola Vucevic led the Bulls in scoring with 17 points, and Zach LaVine added 14 points. For the 9th game, the Oklahoma City Thunder extends their winning streak to 8 games, as they continue to top the Western Conference with a home victory over the East-worst team, Washington Wizards, with the final score of 123-105. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led Oklahoma City with 41 points, followed by Jalen Williams, 17 points, and Isaiah Hartenstein, 16 points. For Washington, Jordan Poole led the team in scoring with 31 points, and Carlton Carrington added 14 points. For the 10th game, the Los Angeles Clippers gets a narrow victory on the road against the Memphis Grizzlies with the final score of 114-110. Norman Powell led the Los Angeles Clippers in scoring with 29 points, followed by James Harden, 21 points, along with 8 rebounds and 9 assists. And Ivica Zubac finished with a double-double game of 20 points and 20 rebounds. For Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. led the Grizzlies in scoring with 24 points, and Ja Morant finished the game with 23 points. For game number 11, the Dallas Mavericks cruises to an easy 132-108 home victory over the Portland Trailblazers. Mavs superstar Luka Doncic led Dallas with 27 points, 7 rebounds and 7 assists, followed by Daniel Gafford, 23 points on perfect 7 of 7 from the field. And Kyrie Irving finished the game with 20 points. For Portland, Deni Avdija led the Trailblazers in scoring with 19 points, and DeAndre Ayton 16 points. For game number 12, the visiting Indiana Pacers stuns the Golden State Warriors on the road with a 111-105 victory. Miles Turner led Indiana with a double-double performance of 23 points and 10 rebounds, followed by Pascal Siakam 20 points and Tyrese Halliburton 16 points. For the Golden State Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga led the team in scoring with 26 points, followed by Andrew Wiggins, 16 points, while the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, was limited to just 10 points. For the 13th game, the Denver Nuggets demolishes the Phoenix Suns in the second half as they limit Phoenix to just 11 points in the final quarter and cruises to a 117-90 victory at home. Nikola Jokic led Denver with 32 points, followed by Michael Porter Jr. 24 points, while Jamal Murray did not play in this game due to injury. For the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal led the team with 23 points each, while Devin Booker continues to miss games due to injury. And for the 14th and final game played today, the Detroit Pistons upsets the Los Angeles Lakers on the road with the final score of 117-114. Malik Beasley led Detroit in scoring with 21 points, followed by Cade Cunningham, 20 points along with 10 assists, and Jaden Ivey, 18 points. For the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James had a triple-double in a losing effort, finishing with 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, and Anthony Davis finished the game with a double-double performance of 19 points and 10 assists. In the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers still holds the best record in the NBA this season, with 26 wins against only 4 defeats, and have now won 5 straight games. The Boston Celtics are at the second spot with 22 victories and 7 losses. Jalen Brunson and the rest of the New York Knicks are holding on to the third spot with 19 wins and 10 losses and on a 4-game winning streak. The depleted Orlando Magic team, fighting strong at number 4, with 19 victories against 12 defeats, and on a 2-game winning streak. The Milwaukee Bucks completes the East top 5 with 16 victories and 12 losses, and have won 2 games in a row. At the 6th spot are Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, with 14 wins and 13 defeats. The Atlanta Hawks and the Indiana Pacers share the 7th and 8th places, with an identical 15 wins and 15 loss record. The Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons also tied at the 9th to 10th spots, with an identical record of 13 victories against 17 defeats. At number 11 are the Brooklyn Nets with 11 wins and 18 losses, riding on a 2-game losing streak. The Philadelphia 76ers are still at the 12th spot, with 10 victories and 17 defeats. At number 13 are the Charlotte Hornets, with 7 wins and 22 defeats, and have lost 5 consecutive games. The Toronto Raptors are at the 14th spot, with 7 victories and 23 defeats, and on an 8-game losing streak. And at the very bottom of the Eastern Conference standings are the Washington Wizards, with only 4 wins and already accumulated 23 defeats, and have lost 2 in a row. In the Western Conference, the red-hot young Oklahoma City Thunder team is still on top with 23 wins and 5 losses, and have won 8 straight games. The Houston Rockets moves up to the second spot, with 20 victories and 9 defeats, winning their last 3 games. The Memphis Grizzlies slides down to number 3, with 20 wins and 10 losses. At number 4 are the Dallas Mavericks, with 19 wins and 10 losses, and on a 2-game winning streak. Completing the West top 5 are the Denver Nuggets, with 16 victories and 11 defeats, and have won 2 games in a row. The Los Angeles Clippers are at number 6, with 17 wins and 13 losses. At the 7th spot are the Los Angeles Lakers, with 16 wins and 13 defeats. At number 8 are the Golden State Warriors, with 15 victories and 13 losses. The San Antonio Spurs still holds the 9th spot, with 15 victories and 14 defeats. At number 10 are the struggling Minnesota Timberwolves, with 14 wins and 14 defeats, and have lost 3 straight games. The Phoenix Suns are at the 11th place, also with 14 victories and 14 defeats, and have lost their last 3 games. The Sacramento Kings are still at number 12, with 13 wins and 17 losses, and on a 4-game losing streak. At the 13th spot are the Portland Trail Blazers, with 9 wins and 20 defeats, and on a 2-game losing streak. At number 14 are the Utah Jazz, with 7 wins and 21 losses. And at the very bottom of the Western Conference team standings are the New Orleans Pelicans, with only 5 wins and already have 25 defeats, and have lost 7 consecutive games. There are no NBA games tomorrow, December 25th, Christmas Day. As the NBA Christmas Day games in the United States continues on December 26, Philippine time. In the first of 5 NBA Christmas Day games, the New York Knicks will be at home at the Madison Square Garden Arena to host Victor Wembanyama and the rest of the San Antonio Spurs at a very early 1 a.m. For the second game, Luka Doncic and the rest of the Dallas Mavericks will be at home at the American Airlines Center to host Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves at 3:30 a.m. For the third game, the Boston Celtics will try to defend home court at the TD Garden Arena against the visiting Philadelphia 76ers at 6 a.m. For the fourth game, it's a blockbuster showdown at the Crypto.com Arena as LeBron James and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers will be hosting the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry, and the Golden State Warriors at 9 a.m. And for the 5th and final Christmas Day game, Kevin Durant and the rest of the Phoenix Suns will be hosting 3-time NBA Most Valuable Player Nikola Jokic and the rest of the Denver Nuggets. Tip-off will be at 11:30 in the morning.